Hello, Nastran Ninjas. Hope everyone's doing good. Today we're going to go through the installation process for WinPython, Nastran, and the Strangle library, which is actually my library. And after this installation, everybody should be able to run the tools that are available on the website. So if you go to the source code page, you've got all these tools, and some of them are just Python only. They're general tools. Others require the Strangle library, stress engineering library. And this last group here requires the stress engineering library and Nastran. So we're going to install everything. So after this installation, you should be able to run anything on this page. So we'll jump right into it. The first step is to download everything we need. And since we're here at the website, we'll just start with the stress engineering library. I like to call it Strangle. It's on GitHub. If anybody missed that, that was just a link from the website. This one right here on the source code page. Nastran Ninja Strangle. So it's on GitHub, and it's very simple. Once you get to this page, all you do is come over to the far right, bottom corner, and hit the download zip button. Save it to a common location. I'm just going to use my desktop for this demo. It has completed. It's very small. So we're actually done with that step. Close that page. Next step is to go to Nastran website. We're going to download version 2.7, Nastran for Python 2.7. That's right here. Just went to the Google code page, the downloads page, and then this link right here. Click the download. Again, save it to the desktop. And that one's done. So the third step, as far as downloading goes, is to download WinPython. So I choose WinPython because it's lightweight. It's got everything we need, and most importantly, it comes with a 64-bit version. I've had trouble with the 32-bit Python version in the past with memory error and such, mostly because I was trying to load very large FO6 files. So if we get the 64-bit version, we shouldn't have any troubles like that. So that's basically why I use WinPython. Comes preloaded with numeric Python, which is long for NumPy, and a whole bunch of other tools that I really don't use, but if you come to the WinPython website, you can look through it and figure out if you want to use those. So anyways, let's go to the download. Right here, I'll go to the package index page, files, and we want 2.7, since of course we have the Nastran version for 2.7. So everything works together. And this is the most recent version, so that's the one I'm going to choose. And of course, I want the 64-bit version. So we'll just kick that off. And this is a pretty long download. It's going to take a number of minutes. So what I'm going to do here is just pause the recording and then come back up once it's done. Okay, so all the downloads are done. I've got WinPython, the executable, and the zip file for the stress engineering library, and the zip file for Nastran. So one thing I did was I kept the Nastran website up, and that's because we're actually going to need some of the installation instructions in here, and that's going to be found on the wiki page and installation guide. So we'll need this later, but just to show you right now, leave that website up. For now, the first step will be to install WinPython. And this is a long install, so I'm going to kick it off here for demonstration purposes and probably pause the recording again. It's going to take a while to load up here. Okay, here we go. The installation process is not very involved. It's just all the normal buttons. Make sure you choose the correct destination folder. It's not the end of the world if you don't, but it just makes things easier. I put mine on the top level directory of my C drive. I have a Windows machine. And then just click install. Okay, so we're coming up to the end of the installation here. Only takes a few minutes. Lots of good packages in WinPython. Okay, complete. Okay, next. And finish. And that's the installation for WinPython. Let's go find the location where we installed it. It's at the top level of the C drive. There it is. All it does is create a folder, and inside that folder is lots of tools. Spider is your integrated development environment. Actually stands for Scientific Python Development Environment. There's a Spider Lite, which is just the shell, if you will. And all these other tools. I don't use IPython that often, but I've heard it's very useful. And then there's all these Qt tools. Qt is a GUI library, one of the most popular GUI libraries in Python. I currently don't use it. I'm still stuck on TK, which you'll see with most of the tools I'm releasing. But you know, someday when I have enough time, I'll actually learn how to use Qt and then probably cover that on the website. Anyways, in this same folder is actually your Python installation. So this is Python 2.7.6, 64-bit, just like we expected. And here's what it looks like. In fact, we'll come back to this later, but just to show you. And so that's it. The next step here is to actually register this installation. So when WinPython is installed, it's actually just basically copy and pastes all these tools into this location, and it doesn't really register anything with Windows. And that's left optional for the user, and that's intentional, and it's supposed to be one of the nice parts about it. But since this is the only installation we're going to maintain on our computers, well, that's an assumption, we're going to actually register this installation. And it's very simple. Just double click on this control panel tool. Pops this little window up. This is a very simple window. Shows all the packages that have been installed with WinPython. These are all by default. You can actually uninstall these at will if you so choose. I just leave them all in, even though I don't know what most of them do. And yeah, if you're actually going to install more packages, then you can do that from here too. But anyways, this has everything we need. We don't really need to worry about any of that. So all we're going to do from here is just register the installation. And that's easy. Just go to the advanced menu and click register. It tells you it's going to register it and asks you if you're sure. You say yes, of course. Allow it to do its thing, and that's it. So we're done there. The next step is actually to install the libraries. So you're probably wondering, since I showed you that nice little control panel tool, why we're not going to use that right away. Why did I close it? And I'll tell you. As far as I know, most of the existing packages in this list were released using the distribution utilities function of the Python programming language. This is the functionality provided with the language. Developers can release their packages in a controlled and formal way. It's called distutils. You can look it up online. But that's basically the route you need to take if you're gonna get something to be on this list, as far as I know. So we're actually not going to use that. We're going to do it the manual way, which is almost just as easy, and I'll show you why. We'll just start with Distress Engineering Library. It's the smaller one. So first step is just to extract it. There it is. So when you download it from GitHub, it comes with this master -master at the end. We don't need that. Definitely don't need that. Get rid of it. We can open it up, look around, see. Yes, everything's there. Looks good. So basically, to install the Stress Engineering Library from here, we just go back to our WinPython location, open up the Python installation folder, go into the lib folder, capital LIB, and down to site packages, and all we need to do is drag and drop the Strangle folder into the site packages. And there it is, throws it in there, and that's all we need to do. So we're done with that. So the last step is to install Nastran. So just like Strangle, extract it. And done. So then the same step, we'll just copy and paste or drag and drop the Nastran folder into our site packages location inside of our Python installation. So now that's there. And so from here, to finish up the Nastran installation, we'll actually need to go to the website and follow the rest of the instructions. Here they are. Basically says do all these steps, install Python, and install these important add-ons. This is if you have Python 3, which we don't. Install Python for OP4 support. We're not going to do that. Or I don't do that. You can if you want. And download. We've done these, extracted. And so basically Nastran is saying you need all these nice packages installed on top of Python in order for Nastran to work. Well, the great thing about WinPython is it comes with all those. So no worries there, we've already done that. And so basically we're right here, navigate to the Nastran directory on the command line. Alright, so I'm here, I've navigated to the installation directory, or the Nastran directory on a command line. And from here, all I need to do is run these few scripts that were provided with Nastran. Actually, in the directions it says to run Python setup py develop to install the package, but from Windows I've found that you do not need to type Python. I will actually show you that it does give me an error. It should give me an error. It has in the past, at least. Yeah, so Python is not a recognized command. Actually, all we need to do is, instead of typing Python setup, we just type setup.py. So we just call the script directly and then send it the develop command. Here it runs, and the next step here is to run Python setup test. So again, setup py space test. goes. Everything looks normal. Okay, okay. And looks like we're done. And we're not going to do the Scython OP4 stuff. I haven't been playing with OP4s yet. If you want to investigate that functionality, please feel free, but I haven't gotten there yet. So anyways, that's actually the end of the installation process. Close all this. And we're actually ready to go. So just as a last little piece of this demo, I'll show you how, I'll show you one of my tools. So we'll actually pull the tool straight from the website. From the home page here, I just go to source code. The one I'm going to show you is one that's been updated recently. It's called the analysis tool. Just click on the link. Save it to the desktop. That's completed. Get rid of this. Pull them over here, extract it. So here it is. I can go into the folder and just double click the tool. And there it is. There's tutorials on the website on how to run this. The latest functionality actually includes the factor and combination files, so those are available now. But there it is. It's working, and all the other tools should work too. So I hope this was a helpful demonstration, and let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks again for visiting the site, and of course, if you need any help, have any requests or any other feedback, I'm happy to hear it and happy to help. Thanks guys.